So this particular work here, this was experienced 19 years ago in the year 2000, but it was made 3 or 4 days ago here in Sao Paulo. So the actual material, the stuff on the wall, that is new, but it refers to an experience of 19 years ago. And that was a real experience. And then after going up onto above the 8,000 meter mark, which is called the death zone, which means that when a human being stays there, and especially without bottled oxygen, then you are deteriorating. So the human being cannot live there for very long. You don't stay alive for very long at that altitude. You are actually deteriorating. No matter what you do, eating or drinking a lot of liquid, it's still it's called the death zone. So as an artist, that was a very, very interesting experience for me. But of course, it was interesting for me. But other people don't necessarily find it as interesting as I did. So that's the way I find it. I'm working from my conscience to make the art that I want to make. You were mentioning about the numbers. So what I say about the numbers is that I use the number 7, and so number 7 can be found. It's used in different cultures around the world, all the way through time. So I don't need myself to invent a use of the number 7. I can find it, in Latin America, North America, the Arctic. Europe, you can find uses in society and culture for the number 7. I mean, the most obvious one being the 7 days of the week. In my own case, once I started using the number 7, then I made a whole lot of walks that lasted for 7 days, and then I started on 14-day walks, and 21-day walks, and now 28-day walks. So that's 4 times 7 is 28. So I've got a lot of material that I've written down, and drawings and diagrams and so on. So some of these kind of woodworks at the end, they'll sort of turn up in diaries and notebooks. So it's this kind of construction into thin air of a way of thinking and experiencing, because they're all walks. The walks are all experiences. Yeah, this is the major question. This is the question. So I think in many countries now, the politics of the new governments are running contrary, are running against nature. It's about a relationship with all the living life forms on this planet, and I know that there are people who want to make billions or trillions out of flying to another planet, but we know if we go to another planet like the moon, we know for sure, sitting right here right now, we can guarantee that humans will trash the moon. They will leave a lot of garbage out there. I think that today the problem is much, much bigger than climate change, and so we have a lot of discussion on the issue of temperature, increased temperature, melting of the poles, rising sea levels. I'm not in any way, I wouldn't want anyone to imagine that I discount that. I certainly don't. These are major issues, but it is also much bigger than that. It's a human relationship that needs to be encouraged and understood from an indigenous person's point of view in their relationship to nature. And nature, it doesn't just mean 2 or 3 kind of life forms. It means all kinds of issues of. So that's where we need this kind of issue of the relationship with the soil, with water, with the air, with the wind, with birds, with fleas, with ticks, with amphibians, birds, rocks, boulders, plants, all the different life forms, need to be respected.